In this video, we are going to learn to create custom dimensions using SQL. A custom dimension is a way that you can use to label values inside a table so then you can create clusters and categorize data. I will explain you that with an example. Let's go to it. Before starting with the example, I want you to notice the layout and the elements we have inside this slide. In the left, we have our source data that is going to be the meta ads table. This table brings the column campaign, spend, and clicks. In the top right, we have our query, and below that, we have the resulting table from our query. So let's start. In this case, we are going to create a funnel stage custom dimension that will help us to categorize campaigns by funnel stage based on naming convention. So if you take a look to our source data, you can see that under the column campaign, we have 6 campaigns. Some of them start with awareness, others start with consideration, and others start with conversion. What we are going to do is that based on this taxonomy, we are gonna label these campaigns to know if they are top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, or bottom of the funnel. Now, let's go into the query and see how we are going to create this custom dimension because the original data source doesn't have this labeling. Remember, we already did a video explaining the SQL basics operators. You can go and click the top right corner to check it out right now and learn more about that. Let's continue with this. So our query is starting with select, and we are calling the column campaign, the column spend, and here in these lines of SQL, we are creating our custom dimension. We are using the function case that works pretty similar to an if function. So what we are telling the query here is the next. When campaign, any row inside the column campaign, starts with awareness, then call it TOFU. When campaign starts with consideration, then call it MOFU. And when campaign starts with conversion, then call it BOFU. Something to highlight before going on is this percentage symbol after the words awareness, consideration, and conversion. The function of the percentage in SQL is that it will tell the query where is the position of the word that we want the query to check for. So in this case, since the percentage is at the end, we are telling the query that the campaign has to start with awareness. If it is in another place in the text, like in the middle or at the end, we won't be able to retrieve that data. That's something a little bit technical, but I think it's useful to share it. Continuing with the query, you can see that there's also an else operator that is saying anything that doesn't comply with any of these words, call it other. And we are finishing the case with an end. And here in the as funnel stage, we are naming our new custom dimension. Finally, with the from operator, we are telling the query, hey, go to the table meta ads to get this information. And here is the results. So we have the campaign column, the spend column, and the funnel stage custom dimension that we just created. As you can see, it's a little bit complex. It requires SQL knowledge, but you don't have to worry. The easy way to do this is using our tool, Porter Metrics. Inside Porter Metrics, we already have a lot of pre-calculated dimensions. You just have to go, enter, select your Google Cloud account, pick the metrics and dimensions you want to add to the table, and then you can send it right into Google BigQuery, and you don't have to worry about all of this SQL. We already have a video on how you can create tables inside Porter Metrics with metrics, dimensions, custom dimensions, date ranges, filters, sorting, everything. You can go and click in the top right corner to go and check that out immediately so you can have data right away inside your Google BigQuery. In the next video, I'm gonna teach you about joins. This is going to be essential so you can learn how to blend data from different data sources.